All right, welcome back, everybody, to the pilot episode. On today's episode, it will be a Christmas Eve special. We're coming out a little early this week with the way the holidays fell. And it just so happened for our regular listeners that this is our wheel spin. And would you know it, we drew a Christmas movie. I'll go ahead and be very upfront. I'm going to give this a real rating for those of y'all that are familiar with the show. I'm going to be as honest as I can. This is a real shitter. If I would have had a choice at a Christmas movie to release on Christmas Eve, this wouldn't be in the top 100. There are some people that love this movie. This is on some people's top fives. I do want to say to Drew's sweet mother, who I love, me and Drew's mother since the day we met, like it was like stepbrothers. Did we just become best friends? We had that moment. I'd do anything for the woman. She would do it back for me, I promise you, but we disagree strongly on this movie. With that being said, let's kick this thing off, the Polar Express.
For those of y'all wondering what just happened to me, the ghost of Christmas past is in here. Something just fell off this top shelf in here, knocked the can over. It's crazy. But yeah, like Neil said, my mother loves this movie, so I've watched it my entire life, every year around Christmas time, until I got old enough to not have to watch it.
Which was last Christmas. This is his second year. He hadn't had to.
Yeah, fixing to have a 3-year-old, but yeah, it's my second year out of the house. No, this movie just childhood for me, and it was crazy, like you said, that this movie just so happens to hit on our wheel spin. So we wanted to release it early for Christmas and everything.
And it was not your mother's recommendation.
No. Speaking about that, it was not her recommendation.
Right, yeah. And so start off the show. I've got some stats and stuff for you guys on this one. I did pull some reviews on this one because I forgot to do that for Braveheart, but I did it on this one. So the Polar Express won no Oscars, even though it was nominated for 3.
Who the fuck nominated it?
It was nominated for like sound engineering stuff. It wasn't even like
okay.
It was fake Oscars that it was even nominated for.
Yeah, I was about to say The Simpsons has got better graphics.
Yeah, it was made on a budget of $165 million.
What'd you say?
$165 million.
I was gonna say, how does that like rack up against some other movies in its field? Like,
I don't know. Like animation's got to be expensive. That's the only thing I can think of.
No, it ain't that expensive.
Well, that, and you got to keep in mind, like they did all this stuff, like they based it on the North Pole, and so like all the Northern Lights, all that. It's a fucking train. The entire movie, the trains, filming on a train's not cheap. Or well, I guess it's.
Let's be honest. Tom Hanks made 80 of that 165.
That is
probably. It did make $315 million in the box office.
I don't know how.
I don't either.
Your children to watch this movie.
I would hit my kid if I came in and caught them watching this on their own.
The movie has a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics and a 64% from the audience. So not very good.
That is awful.
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes. So like that would be a half decent score if it was on IMDb. But on Rotten Tomatoes, if you don't have at least an 85, you're a crap movie.
Tucker and Dale was in the 90s.
No, Rotten Tomatoes has some very subjective.
I do not agree. We stated this before we got into these reviews. I do not agree with them all the time.
Yeah. Right.
I disagree with them on this one. I think they still ranked it too high.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. I really do. So that was the stats that I had as far as like the money making and the Oscars and such. I do have 4 reviews if you guys want to hear them.
Let's hear them.
All right. So I'm going to start with the bad, get to the good. First up, I've got a 1-star review. These are all from viewers, not critics, because I don't care about what critics say.
Agreed.
It says is a 1-star review that says absolutely atrocious, bad writing, bad storyline, bad animation, annoying voices. Oh my God, who thought the train buff kid was a good idea? Basically, they seem to have just jumbled just gambled that if they threw Tom Hanks in, everything would come out well. It didn't. It would just be a poorly done, uninspired movie. But what makes it offensive is the enchanting source material, which is doing nothing more with all they're basically this goes on forever. They're basically saying all they're doing is profiting off of the book, and they didn't do it justice.
So, I understand that, and I get that. Part of my mother's reasoning behind this being her favorite movie, she is a kindergarten teacher. Well, she used to be. She teaches other grades now. She was a kindergarten teacher, and so they read the book every year. So she loved the book, and that kind of brought her to the movie, I guess.
Yes, and I get that, but let me explain something to you. If a kindergartner can read it or be taught it, I probably don't want to watch 2 hours worth of it. And I understand you think Tom Hanks is going to turn it.
Minutes.
And still, 45 minutes is too long. Again, a 4-year-old can read it. And I get the Tom Hanks idea, but this ain't Forrest Gump. This is not fucking Sully landing it on Hudson. Like this ain't it. This ain't him. I don't like
it. He does play his role well. I will say this: without Tom Hanks, roles, without Tom Hanks, I don't know that this movie.
It's nothing without Tom Hanks.
Well, hell, you could say the same thing about Castaway, but people watch it all the time.
Well, I mean, he's legitimately the only person in Castaway.
Well, they tried that with this damn near, and boy, they missed.
So another one I've got here, 2.5 stars. So this one's kind of like middling on it. And they say, I like the story. I do. I think the concept is really great. It's really magical, really fun. The relationship between the kids is sweet. I would love to see a live action version. The way it's drawn is really bad to me. I know it's from 2004, but it's just creepy. It's uncanny valley. It's too realistic. The kids aren't cute. The elves aren't Christmassy. Santa looks like a porcelain doll, and none of them are lovable.
I agree.
I don't
that is the thing that sticks out the most to me about this movie is I do not like the animation style. And so a little bit of backstory of this movie. This is the first fully performed animated movie. So these characters all put on mocap suits. They all performed everything that happened in the movie. So that's what they were going for. They were going for a realistic movie that was animated. But like, if you're going to do that, why not just make the freaking movie a regular movie?
Yeah.
I think also they probably could have cut cost at that point too, with seeing what the budget ended up being.
Probably.
Yeah. Do you have any more reviews? Because I actually have a lot of notes. I took a lot of notes.
Yeah, I've got 2 good ones. I want to give it a little bit of good. One of them's just kind of 5 stars, and they don't say much. So I'm just going to tell you that person said 5 stars. And this other 5-star one gave some thoughts and some insight into why they enjoyed the movie. There were not a lot of 5-star reviews on this movie, believe it or not. This is the only one that kind of went through their thought process of why it's a 5-star movie.
Yeah, well, children don't operate on Reddit very well, so I understand.
This one says The Polar Express is a visually ambitious animated film that captures the quiet magic and wonder of Christmas through the eyes of a child learning to believe. The voice acting overall is strong, helping the characters feel emotionally grounded despite the stylized animation. The musical score further elevates the experience, blending sweeping orchestral themes with gentle, festive melodies. Blah, blah, blah. It talks about how good the music is, which is what it was nominated for in the Oscars.
It does have some decent music.
Yeah, that to me, that the music's the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
I watched 40 minutes of it putting together a Blackstone today, and the music made me wish we lived on a more busy road, so it would make it easier for me to go lay down out there. That's how the music made me feel.
Yeah, but that's even this 5-star review. They did not mention very much about the actual movie. They mentioned the music. They mentioned basically the source material, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I agree with those points too. And now, I don't think it's a 5-star movie. I think it's a decent movie. Like, don't get me wrong, I do. I just think the reality of it probably lies somewhere in the middle because everything you said to me was true.
Yeah.
So
Which I'm going to surprise y'all a little bit on this one. I used to be as low on this as Neil is. This is the first time I've watched this movie since I was probably 13 years old.
See, I got lower going back at my age.
To me, this movie is a bunch of decent scenes that they strung together with 3 to 5 to 7 minute sections where I was just kind of out of it.
There are a lot of moments like that, and for someone like Neil, you don't relate to this as much very well because you don't have children, and so like I see it from that aspect. Like my children would probably love this movie.
Yeah, but here's the deal: you and Aaron come over. Let's say tomorrow night at 8:00. The girls can't go to sleep. Y'all say to hell with it. We don't have to be. We got Christmas coming up. We don't have anything important going on. Let's go over to Neil and Haley's and watch a movie and have a glass of wine with them on Christmas Eve. Your girls come in here and ask me to put on a good Christmas movie. I'm still not picking that movie. Like, there is a bunch of movies that I'm going to show your girls before I will show them this.
Well, my oldest is probably going to tell you to turn on Die Hard, but
Exactly. And I would have a lot more for her because of that. Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, to me, it's a somewhere in the middle ground type movie. If we're ranking it as far as Christmas movies, I would be up much higher, but we're not. We're ranking this as a movie in general.
We have to be fair and true.
Yeah.
Just because it's Christmas time, we can't go to stuffing rainbows up asses.
Yeah.
To me, I say that it has some good moments. It has some really good moments that I really enjoy.
It does.
In the first 45 minutes, 50 minutes of the movie, I'm cool with the movie. I like that movie. When they get to the city.
Yeah, when they get to the North Pole, it does drop off. I didn't like that as a kid.
I'm not a fan of the North Pole in this movie. And the freaking kid, the little blonde-headed nerd.
Know it all. Yeah.
I cannot freaking stand that kid.
I don't think anybody can.
That is one of my least favorite characters in any animated movie ever.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I agree with everything he's saying. I do want to note this for me personally, just so I'm being completely fair. Anything we cover animated, already the top score is only 4. Like, it cannot be a 5. That's just me as a person. And I understand people love it. That's fair. We can go down the list of shows and movies. I know there's some great ones. Yeah. Me personally, this could never be a 5 anyways because of the style of movie it is.
There's a very select few of animated movies that I will legitimately want to watch on animation is just not where my head goes.
Mine either. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to be upfront about how my ranking is going to work.
You know what's funny? The one animated movie that I do think of every once in a while is Meet the Robinsons. I love that movie.
Big Stitch guy. My daughter loves Lilo and Stitch.
Not Lilo and Stitch. I'll give you. I'll give you that.
All right. I know you got the reviews. It's rare I take this many notes, so I do want to hit them before we start.
Go ahead.
The first thing when I watch this movie, I immediately think back. My mom found this game on the computer because when she was a teacher, I would have to go sit in her classroom when school was over and until it was time to leave. Well, around Christmas time, I found this game. And it's a game where, like, the scene they're on top of the train and they're having to ski down the train and jump from car to car. I used to tear that game up. I have no idea what it's called, but it was.
I didn't know that came from this, but I played the shit out of it.
Well, no, it's actually like a Polar Express.
Was it basically Subway Surfers?
Yes,
but it's the actual scene. Like you back on, you're on there, and then you're playing, hitting the space bar to jump, and it's fun. I did want to note when the caribou are on the tracks and he's pulling his beard and everything, little throwback to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Dude on the top goes, "We're in a tight spot." He doesn't say it just like that, but he does say we're in a tight spot.
Damn, we're in a tight spot.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, when they're in the city, this is the one part that it does drop off when they get in the city. I'll agree with you on that. But when they're in the city and she starts hearing the bell and they're like trying to follow it through the tunnels, they walk across that first bridge from where the cart is spinning around to the tunnel. Dude, that bridge is thousands of feet down and they're walking on a surface about that big. For like little 10-year-olds, I would have freaked out.
Yeah, the kids in Stand By Me would be having some words with them kids.
Oh, yeah.
And see, Drew, we shouldn't show your daughters that kind of intense level of risk. We should be watching Home Alone where they're thriving to hurt people that attack them.
I had one note that I wanted to get to. I had legitimately one note that we haven't hit yet. Continuity wise, this train. Did you notice throughout the movie it goes from like 5 cars to 20 cars to like 35 cars to like back down to 5 cars? What's up with that?
Yeah, I know.
Economy dropped off. They had to lose some shit.
There's only like 5 cars on that scene
Mm-hmm.
when you're looking at it. When they're riding it down on the skis, there's only like 5 cars when it pans out. But boy, they jump from like 15 cars to car.
Yeah.
The other thing I was gonna say, this is my last note. I don't know who made this movie. Who is it? Is it like a Disney, Universal? What type of? Do we know?
I didn't even look, to be honest with you.
All I'm saying is, whichever company that is missing one hell of an opportunity to put a ride in at an amusement park, because there are multiple scenes where you would have a great ride.
Somebody may already patent that for all we know.
Yeah, but I would have known it if it was one of those 2 parks. I feel like, but the part where they jump down, and they ride down the slide, and then it takes them into the big cone type thing. They spin down it. That would be fun. And then when they're on the front of the roller coaster, or when they're on the front of I'm saying roller coaster. When they're on the front of the train and he like straps them in, and it's like Glacier Gulch or whatever.
Perk, I got it.
They are, dude. That would be so fun. It looks like a roller coaster.
I mean, yeah, I would ride the ride. It is a Warner's Brother picture.
So
I just saw the craziest thing. I failed to find that it was Warner Brothers. Do you know who directed this movie?
Yeah.
It was Robert Zemeckis.
Yes, it was.
How is this a Robert Zemeckis movie?
Different drugs change your attitude.
Speaking of drugs, there is another actor in here I would like to note. Where did it go? Oh, you know Steven Tyler's in this movie?
Yes, Steven Tyler is in this movie.
Yep.
As the Lieutenant Elf.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew that.
I did not know that. Oh, this has got to be the worst Robert Zemeckis movie.
Yeah, we can't go down that rabbit hole. We'll be here for hours.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I just didn't expect that. I don't think of animated movies as having a director. Is that stupid?
I mean, they still direct.
I understand it feels different in your heart.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
I guess for this one, it's different too because they actually performed all of the stuff. So, like, it makes more sense.
But before, Drew, we can be getting ready to do the rankings. Before we do, like, again, not shitting on this thing, we really appreciate the views and people recommending stuff, like, because again, we'll watch whatever, even if it's not our favorite. We're still going to try our damnedest to give the truest real review, regardless of the time of the year, type of movie, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to try to give it a real review here.
And getting Neil to turn this movie on was like pulling teeth. He did not want to watch this.
Yeah, if y'all know what all I had to drink and take and do to get myself through it today, it was fucking hell.
But all right, let's get into the rating. Would you recommend this movie to friends and family?
Perk?
I'm going to give this one a solid 3. I feel like anybody in your family that has kids, I would recommend it to them. Outside of that, if somebody's like, man, I have never watched the Polar Express, and you're a 32-year-old man, you're good. You ain't got to do it.
Yeah, not him. I'm not going to recommend it to him. You know, yeah, the kids thing, I completely agree with you. That's a 3 for me as well. Just because, like, if you got kids, I'll tell you, man, you let your kid watch Polar Express.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to be completely real with y'all. There is only one scenario that I recommend this movie. So for me, it is a 1.5. That scenario is there is a fire. A couple, we'll use Drew and Aaron as an example. There is a fire. They have to go help whoever's house is on fire. They have to bring the girls over here and drop them off for a couple hours to go help Aaron's parents with the fire. I know I can cut this movie on and be safe and not get yelled at by the parents. Like they'll say it's okay, you cut that on. That is the only way I cut this shit on ever again, is if there's a fire or an extenuating circumstance. Outside of that, there is nobody I can recommend it to. Because again, if the girls are over here for a normal afternoon or night and we have time to scroll through and pick, and I can ask mom and dad, is this okay to watch? We're not watching this shit. We're just flat out not cutting it on. So it's 1.5 for me.
Well, while you're on your negative rant, I will let you go ahead and take the wheels on your likelihood of rewatching this.
This will be a 1. And the only reason it gets a solid 1 is, again, in case of extenuating circumstance, fire, volcano, tsunami, earthquake. One of those scenarios are the only way this shit's ever getting rewatched in this house.
You're starting to sound like my bosses at work when they talk about emergency calls. They say fire, flood, or blood. That's the only way that you go out for an emergency call.
That's kind of how I feel about the Polar Express.
Yeah. It's a 3.5 for me because, I mean, I am going to watch it again. It's just not something that's on my regular watch schedule. It maybe once a year, maybe. Like if I don't watch it one Christmas or my kids don't, like, that's no big deal. Like my kids haven't watched it this Christmas, but shit, I mean, I have now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 3. I enjoyed it enough on this watch for me to say I can watch it every 3 to 5 years and be happy.
Yeah,
I better be some kind of hammered if we're gonna do it every 3 to 5 years.
All right, our final category: is it a good cast, and did they fit their role properly?
I'll actually surprise y'all here. There is a lot of A-list actors in this. For the amount of people that have small roles, it's not big roles. But Tom Hanks can't make anything bad. So I do get their idea of trying to make Tom Hanks do a bunch of shit in this movie. I do get that. Because like if us three sat down and somebody gave us $100 million budget, and it's like, well, here's what we got you: $100 million budget, and Tom Hanks can do 5 roles. I'm thinking, shit, we can come up with something pretty good. So I will give this a 3, because I do get the idea behind it and where they were trying to go with the cast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. I'm going to go a little lower than you. I'm going to go a 2.5 on this. To me, the only performance that I catch myself being like, man, that person was really good in this movie is Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Out of your own mouth, you admitted the know-it-all kid plays his role very well because you hate him.
He does. He does. But I would like that character just omitted.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same park here as Neil. I'm going to go 3 as well because Tom Hanks plays multiple roles very well.
Is it 4?
It's 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's a lot. And he does a great job at all of them. Tom Hanks, you can't put him in a bad spot. He's great at everything.
He has some of the best movies of our lifetime. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like we said, the annoying kid, I thought he played the role well. Now, the kid who was like the main kid, I didn't like his performance.
Should have got Tom Hanks to do it.
That was Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah, I didn't like it. His performance wasn't great. However, I do have 2 other people that I did enjoy their performances, 3 actually. The 2 train conductors, they played 2 dumb dipshits wonderfully.
I'll give you that.
And then the only other one I've got was Billy, the little kid who, like doesn't have a lot and everything. And he's just kind of like, he makes friends with the main boy and little girl. he actually plays that role pretty well, like a kid who doesn't get a lot for Christmas, and he's just kind of a loner type deal. I thought he did pretty well.
I think that's fair. We're going to be pretty close to what I think this should really rank.
Well, we most certainly have a new low.
As well, we should.
It is a full 1-star rating under anything else. We have a 3.6 as our current low.
And that's a tie.
Yes, that is a tie between Braveheart, which, again, we all admit to not doing that. Well, it just doesn't fit our grading criteria very well because it's much better than that. And then Tucker and Dale versus Evil. So, without further ado, we have a 2.6 star rating for the Polar Express.
I was thinking 2.2, 2.4 in my head.
Again, this is a rating for it as a movie, not as a holiday movie. The rating would obviously go up a little bit as a holiday movie.
I will second that, and you are correct about that. But we have to score this as fairly as possible overall, not based off it being Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Well, if you look at it too, comparatively to the Rotten Tomatoes, we're right on line with them.
Yeah, we really are.
So
are.
It makes sense.
And I don't want to live by that, trying to be right on line with Rotten Tomatoes.
No.
No, but I feel like this is an instance where they got it right.
Yeah, I do feel like this is a fair rating. This won't keep me up tonight. Braveheart, I was a little disappointed where we came out.
Yeah.
This right here won't bother me a bit.
No. I think it's accurate. It's just not a great movie as far as a movie as a whole. So, but all right, that's going to do it. Appreciate you, Jake Paul and Prime, for making this episode easy for me.
Logan.
Oh, is it Logan, not Jake, that does
Yeah.
Prime? That's right. WWE. That's right.
Jake can't open his mouth to drink it right now. It's wired
It is
shut.
actually wired shut.
Yeah.
But all right, without getting too far off topic, got a little housekeeping to do for the upcoming schedule. I think we said earlier that the Fallout episode will come out Thursday as normal. Next week is going to be a little bit of a change up. We are not going to take recommendations next week because we want to keep our grading criteria the same and have the same 3 people here. Neil will be out of town for the recommendation episode next week, so Neil will not be with us. We're not going to take suggestions this week. We will be reviewing something next Friday. That's our normal release date for these.
Mm-hmm.
We will have a Friday episode come out. Since Neil has never seen Breaking Bad, me, Perk, and Calvert will be rating and reviewing Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we'll have our normal Landman and Fallout episodes next week, so there's no change there, but no recommendations coming up next week.
And then we'll pick right back up after the new year. Everything will be normal.
And I will, as I did say, Perk informed me today, Copenhagen Effect, I think is what it's called.
Yes, Copenhagen
Test. It actually comes out as a full series. It is not a episode by episode thing. So we're probably going to get to watching that sometime soon. Maybe throw it out as somewhat of a bonus episode.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hope you guys have a great Christmas and a happy New Year. Thank you guys for watching the Pilot Episode podcast. We really appreciate you when you like, share, and subscribe, and tell Grandma the Pilot Episode put out another podcast. Neil?
We'll see you.